stories.
Hello, this is Thomas together with Sam from Agile Ventures, and we are going to have a client meeting for our website one project, agileventures.org. Check it out if you haven't yet.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so we are having a look at the Pivotal Tracker, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to read through some stories that have been delivered during. I don't know. When was it you had the last client meeting, Sam?
I can't recall.
Well,
but it would have been before this. It would have been, in June or something. So
yes. So there's quite a few of them actually.
Yeah, sure.
We will accept and reject them. So
yeah, and so I'm sort of. I mean, the interesting thing about Agile Ventures, of course, is that it's all the people developing on it are actually also the target for it. I am nominally the client. I try and stop myself from getting involved too much in the technical details. But in terms of accepting and rejecting stories, I try and take the will of the people, sort of suck that into the maelstrom of my brain, and then spit it back out into the Pivotal Tracker. But so let's see. So we've got here that the welcome email throws an exception on develop. I guess that has been.
Yeah, I read this description, and it's not the best description actually. I don't know on what server this happens.
Well, yes, it says assuming on develop. I guess that the would be like so if we were looking at website one develop. I guess the process of creating a new user would require one to. I guess I'm probably already logged in there. I wonder if I do that in a different, or if I just do sign up here. We could try that. Let's just do that here. See what happens. Yeah.
Okay. I could too. Just give him.
I assume you're sharing the right screen here for the broadcast. Yeah, that's interesting. Try that there. So that appears to not have thrown an exception there, which is cool. So I think we can say that is accepted. Let's go on to hyper membership levels. So as an app admin, in order to promote user engagement, I would like to develop a membership level system. I'd like to base it on user karma. So that's all.
That's in place. Yeah.
Right. And so is that? So what is this actually? So this was. It's all implemented with no visible use. So okay.
It's kind of we're not using it for anything. I know that if we pull up a user on the the console,
right, we can get some number associated with them.
Yeah. For instance, I think I have 20 karma points right now.
Oh, okay.
So the system is in place, and there is an algorithm, to
yes
how to calculate them, and this is not very complicated, advanced in any way. So right. the next iteration of the story is to display those karma points in some way. That's the first thing, but also expand the way the karma points are assigned.
Interesting. Yeah, I remember I did speak to Brian about. I'm just interested to see. Brian did, I think, tell me how the current karma system is working. What's it a function of at the moment, or you can kind of look in the code base and see?
Yeah, there is. Let's see here. If we go to website one and app, hold on a second. It's in. Is it in services? Yeah, there's in services there is this file called Karma Calculator. And so you get points for membership length, profile completeness, and some sort of activity,
right?
And user age in months. So
right.
User sign-in count.
Services Karma Calculator. Cool. Oh, I like it. I mean, it's a great start there. I was gonna. So if I can potentially, can I do user, and that's then the karma is stored in the database, or it's
if you just pull up yourself in some way, or
well, if I just grab a user here.
So it's me, and I think you see there that we have a karma point something.
Karma point, it says 22 there.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, and that's it's not calculated on the fly. It's stored in the database as well. So, but so can I if I do user all, can I do like sort a karma points or something like this?
Yeah, I think so.
Wrong number of arguments. Is there a sort? Do I have to do like order or something like this? There. How do we? Wait.
I'm not sure about the syntax.
Yeah. Is it active record sort? Really? Order. Class order. Order methods are. There's an order. Oh, I guess right. Rather than sort, it's we do dot order and then comma points. There we go. Okay, right.
If you said Y first.
Yeah, indeed. And then what I particularly want there is.
You want to display only name.
But then let's have a look. What would be nice would be from if I do comma points like that. What I would just like to get is the if we do each and then I could do map, couldn't I? Map, and we get the user, and then all I'm interested in really is the user. Who's your user? Was it the last name, first name? Have we got a full name operation in?
Yes, we do, but it's not on the model level actually.
Okay, first name. Let's just do then u dot last name. Oh, what's happened there? Oh,
What happened now?
But it's got into a little funk there. Okay. Oh, that's annoying. Anyway, I mean, I guess I shouldn't spend too much time playing with it. I'm just sort of.
I got you, but no, I understand what. But yeah, perhaps let's move on. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just. Anyway, but yeah, I guess. So, but in principle, well, the reason why I want to do this is, in principle, we could, like on develop or staging or whatever, we could reorder the current member list by the
by karma points. Yes.
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 And see what it. I mean, what I'm particularly interested in seeing is does the current version produce an ordering that we are actually. I see there. Okay, but no, I get. So I see the karma points are going down there. So actually, basically that karma points we got. It looked like at least yourself and Brian and Sam Pretty, and that's certainly making it look like the people. Is that Nick there? Yeah, the karma points are higher for people who are more recent, if you know what I mean. I can't find user order karma points map, and then it's user. I just wanted a little array with user dot first name, comma user dot last name. That. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so we can see here that at least at the moment that I mean, I know there are people who are.
If you add the karma points to it, so we see.
Yeah. No, I know how much what I would like to do.
Start with karma points, perhaps.
Oh, I can easily have the. Let's just do here, and it's u dot karma. No. You won't allow me to undefine for a nil class. I guess some people don't have. That's so annoying.
Yeah, they don't have a last name. Yeah. Oh. Just take the first name then.
Well, what I was going to do was I was going to put it like this. Oh, and it won't let me do those things on the. Oh, you painful, stupid thing. Do one of those here. Grab it. Paint. Okay, and then paste that into there and give me this, and then paste that and this, and then this. Really? And if I missed something? Oh, I missed the trailing. It needs to have that. There we go. Anyway,
Okay, so Pete, you and that's a lot of people.
Thomas, Yarrow, Marcelo. That puts. I mean, but yeah, this is you know, a lot of the people who are. I mean, it is nice to see. Like Nick at the moment is like way down the bottom, but he's kind of up there. I mean,
He's
Rene
working.
obviously.
But I mean, he's been a member for 2 months, so.
Yeah, sure. But no, I mean, he's higher up in this list than he is in the current membership list. If you know what I mean. So anyway, well, that's great to see what we've got. Oh, yeah, sorry for the diversion there. But so I don't know, that karma thing is in there. The karma system is then, I guess, related to titles somehow. In that, but that's
not yet. We haven't implemented that at all.
Right. I mean, the title exists, but I guess they're
but it's not connected to karma point.
Right. Okay, but it could be anyway. So that's I'll certainly accept that because I consider it cool. Okay, and then moving on. So events index show currently running event. Yes. Yeah. So this one that was I've experienced that fix many times, so we can certainly accept that. That's a huge improvement. So then we've got getting started link on landing page and in welcome email. Yep, that's all in there. Talking to Gary yesterday, he was saying that he has been getting feedback that the getting started page is good, but it needs to be broken. It's too long. It needs to be broken up, and so on. What's your feeling about the getting started page at the moment?
Oh, I gave him feedback on it during the summer when I was home for it. And it's way too long, and it's this is I think it's. I'm not even sure whether it does any good at all. I think it's rather counterproductive because it's way too much text in there.
I think it's good to have
talk about it. I'd love to talk to people with pictures, just do this and that. Get yourself signed up on the services we need and get into a pair programming session or a Scrum. That's the getting started.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to have it's good as a first start, but yeah, like I say, it needs to be broken up.
Also, I need to just a quick comment. I think that he kind of mixed up what it means to get started with Agile Ventures versus what it takes to get started on a specific project.
Right.
Specific projects could be very detailed because there's a lot of the do's and don'ts.
Right.
A lot of steps that you need to take. But in order to start as a Agile Venturer, that's fairly easy. It's basically just join certain services, GitHub, whatever, and join a Scrum, and you're up and running. Basically.
Although I think the concern is that many people are intimidated about the Scrums and the paper and so on, which I think is something that we also need to work on.
And our job is to make them, feel better about it. So
absolutely, yeah, good show.
So
I mentioned this before. I think what I was saying to Yara myself yesterday, and I mentioned to you before, is I think what we really need is I mean it's my bad. I had started working on sets of stuff, pros for this, the code. I really hadn't made that much progress on it. That's entirely my bad. In some ways, I started to doubt my ability to generate sufficiently good pros in sufficient quantity. I almost feel like in some ways what we want is a series of images that kind of explain the value offering in much the way that this, I think Stripe does a great job here of just getting across in simple terms. It is that I'm sure they have more text in the background, but
do you recall back in the good old days when we started this project, when I did the Spike, I had this kind of presentation on the first.
Oh yeah. Well, the present, this whether it slides left and right or up and down or that's the issue. That more what I'm saying is about it's the combination of image and text with the image, kind of allowing a person with relatively little cognitive load to work out what the value offer
exactly is. And also, since I'm talking about this activity feed and news feed and stuff, I would like to fit that into the landing page, which basically means that all these project launchpad and those stuff, they if I move them up to a slider, I could release a lot of free up a lot.
Well, I leave the ultimate layout to you. I mean, I think these are good pieces of text. What we want to do is make these more front and center than these, and combine these with images that kind of shows a project taking off. Anyway, right.
Exactly.
So then we've got live event hyperlink could go straight to the Hangout rather than the event page. I think it does now, and I like that, and that's good. Because my big thing there is just about making it so that people find themselves in Scrums as quickly as possible, even if they are scared. Then we've got the ability to vote on articles. Yeah, don't have, I don't know that I'm ever likely to.
Although I feel that in the next iteration we can get this to add karma points for every vote you should get.
Right. Yeah, I guess So okay, then that makes sense. Yeah. So we now have the ability to vote up and down.
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting. So it seems like I can't remove my vote.
You can vote it down again.
Well, if I vote it down, it goes to 0, which is what I. But it's basically I either vote it up or I vote it down. I can't withdraw my vote and have a not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that sucks. But also, why does it say 2?
Well, I think it was on 1, and I voted it up, so it went to 2, so that was expected. But then when I downvoted it, it sort of took away my upvote and added a downvote.
Okay,
so I think it's doing.
I wouldn't accept this then.
Right. I mean, I don't know. For me, that seems to be sufficient. What it would, I guess, is there an inclusion in this one? Can you? Okay. No. Okay. Right. So it looks like I can cancel these things by re-clicking on this.
Okay, gotcha. Well, that's good. Perhaps not very intuitive, but I think it's.
Yeah, I mean, I think that. Okay, and it's got a pop-up. It's a cancel upvote.
Okay.
Interesting. So I think it's got all the functionality there. I think there may be some confusion about what that little, like that icon, like. Maybe open if you've got 3 fingers on the keyboard there. You just want to open a kind of.
I added to my. I have this chore going, fix UI mistakes, so I just add it as a task.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That sounds good. Otherwise, but yeah. Okay. And that's accept. But great that's Christian has worked on that. Yeah, and he was a TA. That's it. Okay, so going on, create Hangouts for projects with link auto update. Create Hangout for projects. In order to be able to create a project related to Hangout and notify other users about it, as a website user, I would like to have a button for creating Hangout with pre-populated data and link auto update.
I'm not. Just a second. Okay, hold on a second.
I'll keep on trying to work out what this actually means. Okay, so that. I think we already have projects. So if we go to autograders, hey Thaddeus. That's a big man. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, it's easy.
Woohoo! I got to turn my screen share off for a second so that you can see my face. Not that necessarily people want to see my face, but okay. Oh, that's it. Oh, hello. Hello. There you go. Yeah, I'm a big boy. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Big eyes.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I'm not sure about this. This is create Hangout for projects with link auto update.
Wow. What does it user story say?
Well, it says in order to create a project related to Hangout and notify others about it, as a website user, I would like to have a button for creating Hangout with pre-populated data and link auto update. We continue to have the Start Hangout on Air button, which I think at least, which was always there. It has at least been changed so that it now says, instead of Start an HOA, it says Start Hangout on Air. So that's, but I'm not sure. This is going on about.
Just a quick note on this on my part. I was under, this was done after I left.
Yes.
And I think also that Start Hangout button was added after I left as well on projects. I don't think.
Oh really? Oh maybe.
Perhaps I'm not quite sure. Perhaps it wasn't. But no, it was actually there before. But when I was thinking that by we would trigger a mechanism where you created an event and then automatically created a hangout, and now we introduced this model called a hookup model, or it feels a little redundant. I think everything would originate from being an event basically, and not everything we do is an event.
Yes, I think there needs to be an event. I think we do critically need to be able to start. I think it would be a shame if that, in order to create, for example, an autograder pairing thing, I would have to go to the events page.
No. I'm not saying that. I would say that this button would trigger a series of
yes, including creating an event and then publishing to the Slack.
And you as the user wouldn't even notice that. You will only be, routed over to the Hangout window.
Yep.
But the application itself would save the information about everything that has, that happened, and save that in the events table for us to use later on. Like past events and assigning karma points and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I need input on what this story refers to. Yeah, and it would be nice. It would be nice if if it's been delivered and so on, then presumably there should be a pull request. So would be great to have link to pull request in delivered stories.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just move on from that one.
So are we rejecting this one now?
No. Well, I'll just leave it there. I mean, just because I'm not quite sure what it's referring to.
Okay.
Like it might be that it's referring to something else that is there. So I won't accept or reject it. I'll just ask for clarification. Modify UA for events show page. Yeah, make join link a button. Add description to start Hangout button. Adjust, but yeah. Okay, so that I mean, I think that the
I know it's there, although I'm not quite happy with
Yeah, it's not perfect, but I think this is a big improvement on various issues that we had. Particularly, for example, we didn't have
this live soon. I just got to say that this live soon button-ish thing is confusing.
Yes, it is.
Because it looks like a button, it is not a button.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, I think Yarrow did fantastic work linking up all these different things, but this needs your UI on it. I think we've got. Yeah. I wish it still had.
And why do we keep this around? I know that I implemented this edit Hangout link.
We keep this around because it might be the case that you start the Hangout layer and the Hangout fails, and we've had that, and so you may then have to set up a Hangout separately, and then paste the link in there. And you want that to be you want a mechanism for when the automated update of the URI fails to be able to manually override it.
Gotcha.
So it could be even more unobtrusive potentially, but yeah, I think at the moment, yeah, the biggest issue we have is with this live soon thing. Although apparently there are some changes in the works. But anyway, the specific things that I had requested, like the immediate fixes, have come through, and I'm
I'm just going to add this live soon button to the UI things.
Yeah.
That I'm working on,
Sure. Yarrow tells me there is an update coming through this where this will get auto-updated. So, yeah, you'll be working on developing anyway. So, but yeah, watch out for other existing changes on top of this. Okay, so let's just accept that one for the moment. And okay, so password reset. Right. So this was okay. So that apparently I can reset passwords now.
Yeah, but also if you
have a password.
How do you do that? That's if you're logged out, you forget your password. This is what it's
okay.
like.
So log in. Forgot your password. Enter email.
Yeah, we have a problem here, and it's a UI problem. Again, we are using we are using Bootstrap with large form elements, as you see here. They're a little bigger than the one on the forgot passwords page. So there are inconsistencies in UI.
Okay.
Basically. I already have that on my to-do list, but I just want to say that we had this discussion about UI things that.
Sure.
People wanted to create some comprehensive documentation about this. And I said that we could do that, but we could also just have a look at the rest of the site when we do add UI elements.
Sure.
Just to try to be consistent with how people have done before.
Yeah. We'll wait to see if that comes in with a. I'm not immediately seeing.
Oh, you're waiting for the email.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see if it came. Let's move on to some of the other ones until there. So we've got start and end times on events are resetting when edited. That was a serious issue that has apparently been fixed. That's
Yeah, I don't remember requesting this one actually.
no, I encountered this issue on various occasions, and I flagged it to John and Yarrow again the other week. But so I guess if we what I should look for is one that I'm likely to. Do we have beta auto graders? Auto graders ClientMeeting. So that one. Let's see. We're going to have it on Fridays, maybe. I don't know. Let's just go to 7:22. That's the start date. I might, for example, if we put that there, and we say, oh, it's 5 there. Okay, yeah, I think so. Then we remove the answer. If I save that, auto graders ClientMeeting. Yeah, that then comes in there as that. Yeah, okay. So that seems to excellent. That's a
what was happening before? They didn't.
Before, what happened was when you edited it, like if you edited the date, the start time got reset to like 12 o'clock or something.
Oh, okay. So it was must have been something with the JavaScript then, or
yeah, there's some kind of a date picker, some kind of weird issue, but it certainly looks like it's fixed.
Me and Brian had huge problems implementing those date pickers.
So
we might have screwed something up.
Yeah, no worries. I think that's under control now. Good show. All right. So we're going to accept that. I have to save it as well. I'll just click accept. And then wrong times for scrums in welcome email. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I'm getting. Which email is it on? It must be it. Is it Azure Ventures? Yeah. One other thing I did notice is that we seem to have been getting. I think people must be spamming the hire me links. I'm getting these. I don't know if you're getting these as well.
I'm not.
I sort of requested to be CC'd on every email that goes out through the site. So if we look at this is basically like it's 2 or 3 a day, but basically we've got some person slowly spamming. I assume it's through the hire me buttons. So we may want to have. It's relatively low volume. So presumably people's spam filters will be picking this, will be dealing with this. But it seems like we might want to have, a capture or something before people can send the emails through the site. And then I'm getting also.
I was playing with this idea about checking if the session cookie is present before we trigger the mailer.
Okay.
But Sampriti said something that wouldn't work on bots. Because but I'm not quite sure you can do that because most of these spam mails are bots that and if you have a look for the session cookie and if it's not there you just don't trigger the mail.
You can experiment with things and push it out and we'll see if we get that if things continue. But so it looks like, it looks like the dates are currently up to date based upon what's the Atlantic Scrum. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Good show. So that's that. Well done, John. Okay, and then update event model and view to handle events going past midnight. Right. I hadn't noticed that being. Okay, and that's apparently been fixed. I'm not sure how I test that necessarily. If I just create a test.
There is a test in our Cucumber feature file to test it. We could have a look at that. The way they wrote that up.
Let me. I tempted to. Let me just look at this. Like Hangout connection show status of connection with WSO in order to see whether Hangout connection is connected to. Connection status. I'm not sure. Where do I see that? I guess if you started the connection yesterday, yes, you get him. Get him. Yes.
He's a little
Um,
fighter, you should know.
yeah. We've got the website one connection service. Yeah, I'm not sure where I see that. I guess what I'm tempted to do. I guess what we don't have for events is we don't have any delete mechanism for events.
No, we don't.
I mean, I guess I could set one up in the past in order. This one, I've got a request here for it to be split up. Was this split up? But where do we see the connection status? Oh, there's a question. Anyway, I think we've at least looked. We've looked at all of those things there. Okay. Yeah, I think we've covered those. I guess I will note here. I could create one in the past, and then it won't show up in here.
I can go through the console and
oh, and delete it as necessary. So if we have a new event, so if we just have test, and we'll just put it 8/27. Let's just put it in July. I guess I won't necessarily see it, but well, yeah, you can delete it from the console. Just say September 3rd. Duration repeats never. But so we need to have it starting at like that's if that was at PM and the duration is an hour, and then we save it here like that. So, and I guess the issue here for this was that so okay, I guess I can't tell from the interface. I guess what I would need to do is look for this event. Which was the event?
Test, you call
Oh,
it.
it's events test. So if I go, we've still got this open here. If I do event find by name test, right? And so, yeah, it looks like they created that, they updated that. What's this? We have start date time is a full date time. So it certainly looks that's been fixed. So if I just do this and I do.
Yeah, because I mean they removed end time on those.
Yeah, which I think is sensible.
Yeah, it's sensible. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to accept.
Okay, so I'm just going to destroy this event. Okay.
I've already done it.
Oh.
Yeah, I had access to it. All right. I think that's covered. Okay. Well, today this is up. I should get on and get back to this other stuff. I think we've covered. That was good. Client meeting. Anything else? I mean, we're just for these ones. Oh, I guess
the only thing that I can oblige to talk to you about is we were discussing loosening up the developer server to include some spikes and stuff. I'm not quite up for that, but the thing that affects you more that we would like to have those client meetings and show you stuff on the staging server, and after you accept them, we will push that out to production.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I'd certainly love to see them on the staging server.
Because nowadays the way we do things now, we hardly use the staging server for anything, basically.
No.
And we don't really understand. I mean, there was a discussion why we need those 3 servers.
Yeah, I mean, at least the way that I run it in the local support project is the development server is where anybody can go to see what is the latest stuff that's because anybody starting a new feature will be branching off develop. So the develop server right. So it's kind of that's your if you're starting to do something and it's not working whatever, then the develop server is your point for reflection of oh, is it actually working there or not? You know, that other thing. Did I break it? Was it broken already?
And that's why I'm a little reluctant to loosen that. I mean, you
yeah,
know, people,
but personally, I mean, I don't see the value of allowing spikes on the developer server.
good.
Why? I mean, I hear it as like something we might like to do, but like, what's the advantage of having spikes on the developer server?
Yeah, I don't know. You see, I had a pull request yesterday on a story that hasn't been voted on, and you know it was as a spike, and I closed the pull request because it's not supposed to be, you know, that code is not on its way to the develop server in any way.
Right.
So any reason to keep that pull request around?
Well, you can keep the pull request around. The pull request can be kept around as something for people to view. I mean, I don't think that's a reason necessarily to close the pull request. You can keep it around as this is something, but yeah, that needs to come back to a discussion of okay, so this is a spike.
Well, but it's a little. Actually I think that pull requests should be there if there are really real pull requests. For instance, right now I have 4 or 5 pull requests with failing tests.
Yeah.
I don't really know what they are doing there. A developer shouldn't be submitting a pull request.
No, well, but I think that all of them, rather than necessarily closing them, I would put comments and say the tests are failing. This is not gonna,
I wasn't about to close those. No. But I kind of drew the line.
At somebody submitting a spike. Well, I think that it would depend on the pull request. I mean, like what I would like to see, if it's just like a random spike, then I would say, kind of, okay, so this is, I would respond to the individual. This is not going to get This is not going to get merged into develop because it's a spike, right? And spikes don't get merged into develop because develop is specifically for people to start building off of. So you can't have people doing new developments off the top of spikes.
Yeah. The thing is that if I keep those pull requests around, I feel that some new members or some other members would have a look at the pull requests, and that could directly or indirectly affect their work, because they would, without knowing that this is never going to make it to the.
Right. Well, that's why you would need to add that. I mean, I think that needs to be clear, and you would add that. You could keep it open and add text to that effect in the thing. I think that the danger with closing a pull request, particularly if you're doing it in the context of not actually having discussed it with the person who made the pull request, is that it seems like a kind of independently. They may incorrectly think that it's being rejected because you disagree fundamentally with taking the code base in that direction, rather than what you're doing, which is just saying, well, I can't accept a pull request that doesn't have tests with it, right? Which is a different thing. But they may not realize.
Yeah, in this particular case, it was a story requested and never discussed, never voted on,
right.
but done a spike. So I was like, and I'm not even sure whether we will take this.
No. But that's. But I think
it's Mercury, and we were talking about tiny MCA. So I this is a much broader discussion than just
But the pull request by itself, at least for me in local support, if someone was proposing a different editor, let's say, and they said, look, here's this spike. The spike, with the pull request specifies to me, here's this thing. The pull request allows me to view very easily. Here are the changes that would be involved. It's kind of like I would take it as something that I can easily then consider. I quite like getting pull requests of spikes because of the transparency of what the proposed changes actually are, and then also it specifies the branch on that person's repo. So if I want to play around with it, I can then pull, directly, and other people as well who are involved in the project could, it's sort of there as a sort of like, here's this thing to consider, rather than it necessarily being this, here's something that I'm asking you to merge in with the develop thing. But
I got you. Although, just for the sake of discussion.
Sure.
For me, the way I see it, the right forum for a discussion like that is the pivotal tracker. He could deploy to his own Heroku instance.
Sure. He could certainly do that as well. Did it not have a Heroku instance?
Once again?
Did it not have a Heroku instance?
It did.
Okay, yeah.
But so you see, I will keep this out of out of GitHub. I don't want those things in as pull request. I would point him toward pivotal tracker.
It's interesting. I mean, I've noticed that in your absence, there's been a lot more discussion with people using GitHub and pull requests as a way for discussing, directions and so on. And I don't know that that's necessarily a bad. But of course, at the end of the day, you're the project manager for Website 1, and so if you want that discussion to be happening in Pivotal Tracker and you want to recommend that to people, I think be my guest. There's always the danger, of course, in that as you try and adjust the things that people are doing, we're also trying to get them to do pair programming and do test-driven development and do all these other sort of things. Yeah, for me, I would be happy for a spike to come in as a pull request and then for a discussion to go on around that within the GitHub. But and then for it, I think I would just tend to also I would be careful about closing that, because I would want to discuss that with the people first and say, okay, so this is a spike, this is an interesting idea. I would be happy to leave that around for a week or so. I certainly wouldn't want that pull request lying there and being kind of like a hanging thing, but I wouldn't close it until I was in a position to have sort of discussed with the people their motivation for submitting it, if you know what I mean.
I got you. I think about it. Just a quick note on the discussions on GitHub. I think most of them are in a good, most of the discussions are about code reviews, and I think it's great. I know that for a fact that they started to use that because they, when they stopped pair programming, they tend to do more code reviews, and I think it's a good thing that they do a peer code review. But I rather see people pair programming. But a balance between these two would be the best.
Yeah. It's interesting that you characterize it as that when they stopped pair programming. I think what we suffered was a gradual decline in the number of people around, and so the number of what we might say is that as the number of pair programming opportunities diminished,
yes,
maybe there was an uptick in the code review. But I think that's yeah.
But it's a good thing. I think code review is the second best thing, So absolutely. Although I do believe that Pivotal Tracker is the better place to discuss like overall strategy, on a story level, in a feature request level than pull requests. I think Pivotal Tracker could be used more extensively than it is today. That's my
indeed. Well, I mean, I think that the Pivotal Tracker also has great communication support. Okay. Anyway, I think we've covered all the key topics. So I'll leave the dev meeting to you, and I think you've got to get on. I'm going to get back to my chapter 6 and see if I can get through that. And I guess so. You're not going to be in the next Scrum, which Scrum will you next be? Will you be on Friday? Will you?
Yeah. Well, Atlantic or some of the evening Scrums tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah. So I'll probably see you on Friday, if not before. We'll be on Slack and email and so on.
And don't back the ice bucket challenge. You
right. Okay. I'll put it on my to-do list. Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Absolutely. Bye for now.